let me give you some fun facts about the eggs that you are or will be getting from your backyard. Mother Earth News partnered with Tufts University to do a study on backyard chicken eggs versus the ones you get in the market, right? And they found that in the backyard chicken eggs, there's 1/3 less cholesterol, twice as many omega-3 fatty acids, 7 times more beta carotene, 1/3 more vitamin A, 3 times more vitamin E, and get this, our federal government says eggs are fresh 45 days from packaging. That's a long time. So you are getting a superfood here. In fact, many are calling eggs a superfood. And if you get the right amount of cholesterol, you're actually in pretty good shape. Those chicken eggs that you get from your backyard have a higher level of HDL in them, is what they found, than the market eggs, the good for you cholesterol, right? The stuff you need. So here's the deal. We have 5 kids. 2 of them are married now, and we still, I have vegans and vegetarians in the family, but we still eat backyard chicken eggs because we know where they're sourced. They come from our backyard. Before we did that, we would buy eggs, 5 dozen at a time at Costco. You know what I'm talking about, those pallets. Sometimes, if we had everybody home at the same time, 10 dozen at a time, and we eat a lot of eggs. Well, I wanted to know what the eggs were like at like Albertsons, you know, the free-range organic eggs versus the eggs in my backyard. So I went down to Albertsons and parted with $5. That's about what they cost, right? That say free-range organic. And brought them back to the house, and I cracked one of my eggs on one side and one of the free-range organic eggs on the other side, and this is what I got. Yeah. This egg right here, $5 a dozen. That's my egg right there. And the store-bought egg didn't look or taste any different than those eggs that we were buying 5, 10 dozen at a time from Costco. So I think we're being fed, literally, a bunch of crap when it comes to marketing. So you really do have a superior egg in your backyard. Yes?
Refrigerate or don't refrigerate?
Wonderful question. Okay, so the question was, refrigerate or don't refrigerate? I told everyone I probably will answer your question eventually in this. So what happens when the egg is laid? There's an invisible protein that comes onto the egg as it's laid. It's called the bloom. And it actually allows you to stick the egg in your kitchen on the counter in a nice little bowl, and I meant to bring it today. I paid way too much money on Amazon to buy an egg skelter. It looks kind of like a Christmas tree. It goes up like this, and you set the eggs in it. It's really pretty, especially if you have lots of different colors. You just write the date on it, make sure that you use those eggs within 2 weeks. And you don't have to refrigerate them. They will sit on the counter and show no sign of deterioration because they are fresh from your coop, unwashed, and unfertilized. If they're fertilized, you put them in the fridge. If you want to wash them, you take the bloom off. You got to put them in the fridge. And don't buy any eggs from anyone, or if you're selling your eggs, don't put the eggs, if somebody wants them to put on their counter, don't put the eggs in the fridge and then bring them out, because then there's condensation, and guess what that does? Takes away the bloom, right? Okay. Who had a question back there? Yeah?
I think you answered it.
I don't wash mine, no, And there's debate on this. I don't wash my eggs. What I do is I'll take them out. If one of them's kind of grody, I'll take sandpaper or a stiff bristle brush and clean them off. But the deal about that is your eggs won't be dirty if you make certain that your girls' tail feathers are nice and clean, and you can bathe the chicken. I've got great directions in my book. And if the nest box is clean, keep your nest boxes clean. Then your eggs are going to be very clean. You won't have to do anything with them. And while I'm talking about it, if you have girls sleeping in the nest box, you shoo them out and get them on the roost at night. And do it every night until it becomes a habit. Don't let them sleep, get all cozy and warm in that nest box. And sometimes you even have to take some cardboard and block off the nest box, because it's nice and cozy and warm in there. Why not? They need to be on the roost. That's why they call them droppings, because they poop all night long, okay? Yes?
The roost, round or flat?
Okay. 2x4, oriented on the 4 side, flat side. You asked about the roost, round or flat, no dowels. If you have a roost that's small or round, take it out and replace it with an inexpensive 2x4, okay? Oriented on the 4 side. I can talk to you about it a little bit afterward because we covered all that. And it's good information, so I want you to know, okay? Little bit about my project. It said, how did a newswoman, I used to be at Channel 7, and then I went to Bogus Space, and how'd she become so enthralled with chickens? I had them as a kid, loved them, did everything wrong, but they survived despite that. And so in 2009, I read an article in the New Yorker saying people were having to fight for the right for chickens. And in Hazleton, Idaho, just this week, they had a vote on backyard chickens, and they lost. They can't keep chickens in Hazleton, Idaho. Come on. How much more rural can you be, right? But as more and more people want backyard chickens like you guys, more and more municipalities, counties and cities will have to figure out what they're going to do about it, change the ordinances. So I got a bunch of chickens because I wanted to write about them. I wanted to write about the fight. I'm a humor writer for a paper out here in Eagle and Star in Middleton. And so the funnier stories or the more poignant stories I really liked. And so that's what's in the book. I got 2 sets of chickens, one season and one the next season. So this is Bravo Company. You can tell they're running away from me. They weren't as friendly, and maybe I didn't spend as much time with them. But that's an Americana, lays a green egg, right? That's a Moran, lays that dark chocolate-colored egg. That's a Buckeye, and that's a Salmon Faverol with that extra toe, right? You get chickens, and then you want the really cool ones. You want the fun ones. This is Alpha Company. And they're on the hot tub looking in the kitchen, right? We've all learned that they have personalities, they have their community, they're awesome little chickens that are so unique. And they would stand looking in and just to see what we're doing. This is Peep the Curious, that's house paint on her. We painted the house. And that's Thelma and Louise. And so they were awesome chickens. Nearly 100 years ago, our federal government was telling us to keep chickens, raise hens, keep chickens. And now we have to fight for it. The folks in Hazleton had to fight for it. So, couple quick stories. 77-year-old Doreen Proctor, that's Berta, her Austerlorp. Living in Sonoma County, she had an old dog that died, and all of a sudden these feral chickens, wild chickens, started to come around. And she started feeding them, and more chickens heard the news, and then more chickens started to show up. 3 of them showed up, and they all looked alike, so she named them Tick, Tack, and Toe. And one day she got home from running errands, and there was a note on her door that said, "You need to get rid of your chickens," signed Sonoma County. And she was heartbroken. And plus, they adopted her. She didn't adopt them. So she asked for extension after extension after extension after extension, and rallied her neighbors, got a petition signed, figured out what she wanted to do, and knew who was on the city council and the county commissioners, went to them with a new ordinance, and it passed. And now they keep backyard chickens in Sonoma County because of her efforts. And then I love this. This is Britton and Cassie Kaufman, Britton and Cassie, and that's Omelette right there. Back here, you can keep chickens on the other side of their fence. Here, they're illegal. So they went to Greeley, Colorado City Council and wanted to change the ordinance. And they had a series of hearings. The last hearing, one of the ladies who wanted to testify, in fact, she was about the last, got up and said, "We can't have backyard chickens because then we'll have backyard chicken coops. And I have a friend who is a drug dealer, and he keeps his drugs in the coop. and Britton and Cassie said their jaws just went like this. They couldn't believe that what this woman had just said, and didn't she just get herself in trouble? Anyway, the next day, so they blogged about it. You know, they wrote about it online, and they'd keep everybody up to date. The next day, they wrote about it, and this showed up. Your drugs go here. So I love the stories of people fighting for the right for chickens and to keep chickens. Join me on Facebook. Wait, this is going to be fun. I want a photo of all of you. Oh, it's a packed house. Usually my mom calls me when I'm doing a class. So I'm going to try and get everybody. If you're in the Victim Witness Protection Program, right? Cover your face, right? And what I want, on 3, I want chickens. Can you do that? Yeah. All right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, chickens. Oh, come on. I know you can do it better. I want chickens. I want the people up front going, what? Okay, 1, 2, 3, chickens. Awesome. You guys are great. So that will be on my Facebook page today, okay? You'll get to see yourself.